What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always, Always Everything You Want. My name's Michael Roman, and today we're getting into New Avengers confirmed for Phase 4. Or confirmed for Phase 3? If you could hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, grab the like button. I'm a brand new channel. I would sincerely appreciate it. And if you've already subscribed, I cannot thank you enough. Let's get right into this. There's a lot to unpack here when it comes to New Avengers, and I do strongly believe that we're going to see a New Avengers title in Phase 4, but the truth is that we've kind of already seen them, and because of where we're at in the MCU timeline versus where the comic books are, sequentially, we've kind of already gone out of order. So let's actually just start at the beginning to make this easy. Okay, so first of all, there is no group called the New Avengers. That was just the name of the comic book. The group that is in the comic book being the Avengers think of themselves as the Avengers. They don't think of themselves as the New Avengers. That's just the name of the title of the book. These were the faction of Avengers that chose not to comply with the Superhuman Registration Act. You'll know it from the MCU as the Sokovia Accords. If you remember from Civil War, when Iron Man and Captain America faced off on either side, that's directly from the Civil War comic that is several years after the New Avengers title. So to get a New Avengers title in Phase 4 would be sequentially out of order from the comics. However, Kevin Feige and Marvel have set up a precedent of just using elements that fit the story that they're writing. And since they have already drawn heavily from Jonathan Hickman, I think that there's a strong base for them going forward to do this. One of the strongest arguments that I can make in favor of there being a New Avengers title is because the roster is sort of lining itself up that way anyway, right? The original New Avengers roster, or the faction of Avengers that were in that book, were Captain America, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. And it also included Spider-Woman and Luke Cage. This was the original 5-team lineup. Obviously, Spider-Woman and Luke Cage are out. Luke Cage is already a Netflix series and will not cross over to the film. Spider-Woman, while there has been loose talk about development for her, is not quite on the radar yet. However, Cap, Iron Man, and Spider-Man are firmly in the mix. Now, by the end of the quote-unquote New Avengers run, the team includes people like Bucky as Captain America, which fans have been calling for a long time. Miss Marvel, which Kevin Feige recently confirmed is in production, or at least in pre-production. And Ronin, not the Echo Ninja Ronin, the Cliff Barton Hawkeye version, which we know we're getting in Avengers 4. So if you take those three specific things into account, it seems like we're headed for a New Avengers movie anyway. Now, if you missed the whole boat on Bucky becoming Captain America, there are several people who have worn the Captain America mantle after Captain America dies in the comics. Spoiler alert, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen in the film at all. Several times, especially recently, Bucky's been wearing red and blue, or red, white, and blue. When it comes out of the hut, in the post-credits scene in Wakanda, when he shows up on the platform to give Captain America a hug when he hasn't seen Steve in a long time, he's wearing red and blue. They've been foreshadowing this for a while. In the comics, Falcon also inherited the Captain America mantle. That was more recently. But it's hard for me to think that Anthony Mackie and the Falcon character are what's going to carry the Captain America mantle into something like a New Avengers film. Perhaps they'll give an Easter egg or a shout-out, do it briefly, or give him some scenes with that, the same way they worked in the Iron Patriot or some other various armors into the Iron Man movies. But it's doubtful that Anthony Mackie is going to actually inherit that mantle and carry the solo movies. So the idea of the New Avengers was basically an ideology thing. And because the Superhuman Registration Act made it so that like the Avengers or the X-Men, whatever, couldn't act, basically. Electro, yes, that Electro from Spider-Man, obviously strikes again, because villains do. And the New Avengers spring into action. It is a self-discovery comic for Captain America more than anything. And we've already seen that storyline echoed strongly through Phase 3. So the truth is, you could argue that in Infinity War, when Vision and Scarlet Witch are getting assaulted by Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive for the very first time, I believe they're in Edinburgh. I might be wrong about that. When that version of the Avengers shows up, it's Cap and Black Widow. Those are the new Avengers. Those are the Avengers who chose not to register with the Sokovia Accords. And while no one really even talked about it, that is probably the strongest evidence for the new Avengers existing already in Phase 3. And how the roster is going to look going into Phase 4 is a really strong argument that we might actually see a new Avengers title. Alright guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want to see a new Avengers movie? Is that played out? Is the title old? Would you rather them use some new titles? I don't know. I like it because it's a callback, and really since they're writing their own stories anyway, does it really matter? Using some comic titles just actually strengthens the brand. But let me know what you guys think. Grab the subscribe button. I'm going to cut it to the music. Thanks for stopping by the channel, and I'll see you again real soon.